Runners, welcome to your Thursday night intervals and abs class tonight. We're going to go for an awesome threshold run, and then we're going to finish up with some ab work. All right. If you haven't done so already, go ahead, turn those treadmills on. Just take it to an easy walk. For those of you that might use Zwift, I am on Zwift as Ken Pursuti. Feel free to follow me on there, and you can actually see what I'm doing during the course of this run, how fast I'm moving, what my cadence looks like, what my heart rate is. You don't need Zwift for this ride, or for this run rather, but if you do have it, it's a nice little fun touch. Just taking it to that walking pace right now. Staying nice and tall, lifting from the crown of your head. Short strides, just like we talked about on Tuesday. All right, looks like we got a few folks out there, so thanks so much for joining me. Again, we're just going for a short, easy walk right now. We've got a few different thresholds that we're going to take you through tonight. So very quickly in this warm-up here, once we get rolling, I will talk you through what I'm looking for, what each zone should feel like, and we'll go from there. So when you're ready, go ahead and just take yourself to an easy jog. Maybe that's 4 miles per hour, maybe that's 5, maybe it's 6. Hey, maybe it's 7. Whatever feels easy. Take it to that pace where you feel like you could go all day. You could carry on a conversation. You could talk with me just like I'm talking with you right now. This is what we call your zone 2. It is a purely aerobic zone. What does that mean? It means your body is using oxygen. You're breaking down fat. You're using that. Your cells are using that to create ATP and power you through this workout. And again, if we did just a simple talk test right now, you could probably say 5 words, no problem, before you had to take a breath. That's the intensity we're looking for. Zone 2. After zone 2, we move into zone 3. Zone 3, things do get a little bit tougher. Zone 3, you should still feel like you could go for a long time, but you probably don't want to. It's like a marathon pace, maybe even a little bit longer. When I'm training my triathletes, zone 3 is oftentimes their racing pace. And in zone 3, you're probably gonna feel like you could say 3 words. We could still have that conversation we talked about having in zone 2. The difference is you don't want to have that conversation. We're going to spend a little bit of time here in zone 3 today, but we're doing it with the intention of really getting our body warmed up and ready for moving into zone 4. Zone 4 is your threshold. On a good day, zone 4 might be your 10K pace. What happens in zone 4 is anaerobic. Your body is relying less on oxygen to break down fat to power you through the run. Instead, you're working more without oxygen, hence anaerobic, and you're starting to burn carbohydrate. What does that mean? What are you actually burning? It's glycogen, right? Glycogen is the stored version of carbohydrate in your body. You're gonna burn through it pretty quickly. That's why when you're running half marathon, marathon, you're looking to grab gels, goos, anything to get that quick hit of sugar back into the body. And here's what we do in zone 4. Zone 4 is gonna help us get faster by running faster. That's why we do it. Zone 2, on the other hand, that very, very easy zone, that helps us get faster by building our aerobic base, by creating more mitochondria in the cells, more efficient mitochondria. So we work on getting faster by working low intensity, building ourselves up. Then we work in zone 4 and zone 5 to get faster by pulling ourselves up. Kind of two different ways. Where does that leave zone 3? I mentioned it's a good zone to race in. Zone 3 ends up being a little bit too hard for us to get all the benefits of going easy in zone 2. And if you think you're going, maybe I'm going a little bit too hard, maybe I'm in zone 3, that's probably right. If you think you're going too easy, like is this zone 2 too easy? That's probably where you want to be. And then zone 3, mentioned it's too hard to get the benefits of the aerobic base building in zone 2. It's too low to get the benefits of the anaerobic work that we want to see in zone 4. So most athletes, most runners that I coach, triathletes I work with, they spend too much time in zone 3. It's just hard enough to feel like they think they're doing something, but not so hard they hate it. And that's not where you want to be. We call it the gray zone. So the only reason we're going to be in zone 3 tonight is to prep our bodies for the zone 4 work that's coming. So remember, I didn't tell you to go to zone 3 yet. We're still in zone 2. We are pushing, moving down that road, jamming out to a little deep purple. Hush. I love this song. Okay, so we've got about 5 more minutes here, just coasting in zone 2. And then we're gonna take 2 5-minute intervals in zone 3. That's that comfortably uncomfortable pace, that pace that's a great racing zone for a marathon, maybe a half marathon, but not so great for training. That gray zone. We're doing it tonight with the specific purpose of prepping our body for 4 or 5, I think it's 4. 4-minute zone 4 intensities. In between these zone 3 intervals, you've got 2 minutes of recovery. In between the zone 4s, we're dropping that to a minute. So most of your work tonight is going to be zone 4, going to be threshold. Now take a minute. If you were with us on Tuesday night, we did a lot of work related to our cadence, how fast our feet were turning over. Try to think about your cadence now. Where is your foot landing? Is it really really high or far out in front of you, or does the foot land below your knee and then sweep up behind the body? From there, we can make sure we're taking lots of little steps. See, I'm not paying attention and I let my cadence drop. So I'm gonna try to make sure I get back to 170 steps per minute. There we go. Feeling good out there, moving down that road. We've got about 2.5 minutes left, and then we're gonna go for our zone 3 effort. So while you're all still moving, I'm gonna pause for a moment. I'm gonna take a quick look at the stream here and see everything looks cool, good. Just wanna make sure that everything is flowing here. All right, keep running down that road. Okay, runners, we are ready to get back at it. Moving into our zone 3 coming up. It's a 5-minute effort. Now here's what we're looking for on this. We want to make sure that we're staying nice and tall, that our core is engaged the whole time. So if you think about your pelvis being a bowl, if that bowl is tilted forward, water's gonna fall out the front. If we tighten up those lower abs just a little bit, your pelvis is gonna be level, that bowl would be level, and that water wouldn't spill out the front, spill out the front. So if we think then about leaning forward with our pelvis engaged, you're gonna be able to engage gravity a little bit better, a little bit more. And just that little bit of tension in the lower abs is gonna help you strengthen your core. Here is Jax. He's not running, so he is gonna run upstairs, right? We've got the kids' marathon mile coming up later this week. Okay, I'm turning the treadmill back on. I'm coming back at you. And in 30 seconds, we are going to zone 3. So again, keep that core engaged. Just by keeping a little bit of tension in your lower abs, you're gonna be working on your core. You're gonna be strengthening those abs. Tonight at the end of the run total is gonna be about 40-ish, 45-ish minutes. We're gonna take about 5-10 minutes, do a little core work. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, we move up to zone 3. For me, that means adding maybe another half mile per hour. And again, we're here for 5 minutes. Rolling down that road, listening to some Black Keys. Good stuff here. Think about that cadence. Lifting those ankles up behind you, letting those feet fall right below your knees. Think about where you feel that foot strike. Is it on the heel? Is it on the forefoot? Remember, we want to try to stay away from that heel. Stay away from extending too much. So oftentimes, when we find that we might have some plantar fasciitis coming on, a lot of times it's because we end up reaching too far, slamming that heel down. And you might say, it's a random thing to be talking about right now, so why are we talking about it? So I'm part of a group on Instagram. We call ourselves the Pittsburgh Running Collective. If you're on Instagram, take a look out there for us. It's gonna be PGH_running_collective. A bunch of running coaches from here in Pittsburgh. And we answer questions every week. So my question that I was asked last week and will be answering tomorrow is related to plantar fasciitis. Some of the causes, some of the maintenance you can do prior, and what to do once you actually have it. So check that out. 2 minutes, 40 seconds here in zone 3, pushing the fireball. 2.5 minutes. Looking good. Think about that cadence. Where you at? I'm feeling so good. I'm adding a little extra speed here. Let's be honest. Probably was going too easy to start with. One minute, 35 seconds to go here. How does your zone 3 feel? Are you at that point where you're just approaching being out of breath? Puffing and puffing, not quite. We talked about zone 2 being aerobic, zone 2 being anaerobic. Now you're always going to have a little bit of blend of each. But here in zone 3, that blend is the closest to equal it's going to be. 1 minute here. So on the recovery, you can choose to go easy, zone 2 run, or you can choose to walk. Your call. We've got 25 seconds. Good, good, good. Hang in there, 15. Again, this should be challenging, but it's not killer. You can do this for a while. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Slow it down. 2 minute jog or walk. Your call. Just want to make sure that you're feeling good out there. Still moving. Keeping yourself, bringing, I should say, that intensity back to a level where you could go all day. Your zone 2. Grab a drink if you haven't done so already. I'm going back to a jog here. 1 minute, 15 seconds left on this recovery. And we are going to pick things up again coming up. Remember, we're looking for another zone 3 effort. That's going to put you 5 minutes at that comfortably uncomfortable pace. This is one of my favorite mixes. I revived this. It was a spin class. It was my very first spin class that I ever did at Mecca Fitness. It was right when I came back. I was instructing at LA Fitness. I went to New York for work, and I took a class at Peloton, I took a class at Soul Cycle, and I cannot go back and teach at LA Fitness anymore. So I went to what I think is one of the best spin studios in the city, Mecca. Hope you'll join us there once the gyms open up again. Okay, we're going back to that zone 3 in 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. For me, tonight, zone 3 is just over 7 miles per hour. Now, that doesn't mean you should be going just over 7 miles per hour. And in fact, treadmills are notoriously bad at estimating your actual speed. So, your tread might say 5 miles per hour, it might feel like 7. If it feels that way, go with it. Base your work on the treadmill off of perceived exertion. If it feels like you're in zone 3, don't worry if the pace actually tells you if you're in zone 3. I have 2 things that I look at. Well, I guess technically 3 when I'm running to help me figure out what zone I'm in. Number 1 is the talk test. If I'm here and I'm saying 3 words, I know I'm pretty close to zone 3. Now on top of that, I can look at my speed, but again, on the treadmill, you can't actually trust the sensor. When you're outside, you might find that if you're going uphill, you're going to be slower, even though you're in zone 3. So you got to keep that in mind. And then the third thing I use to look at my zones and figure out where I am is my heart rate. So tonight, I know my heart rate, my zone 3 heart rate, is going to let me go up to about 153 beats per minute. We've got about 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go. So I'm looking at my heart rate right now. I'm at 100, I'm actually at 157. So I'm creeping out of zone 3, heart rate wise. But most importantly is going back to that feeling of perceived exertion. There might be a few other reasons my heart rate could be a little bit higher. 1, I might not be fully recovered from my other workouts this week. 2, I might be a little bit dehydrated. So if I feel like I'm in zone 3, but my heart rate's telling me I'm in zone 4, and I know my recovery's pretty well, I probably need to drink a little bit more. The longer you go, the higher your heart rate potentially could climb. At the same pace, at the same intensity, in the same zone. One minute, 15 seconds to go. Looking good. 1 minute to go. Think about that core. Is that core still engaged? Are you still leaning forward? Lower abs, just ever so slightly, a little bit tight. 40 seconds. 25 seconds. We're gonna go for another 10 seconds. Three, two, one. You're gonna drop that speed down. Maybe you drop it down to your jog. Maybe you drop it down to a walk. You can decide. We've got 2 minutes here. After this 2 minutes, we are picking things up. We're going for threshold intervals. Again, 4 of them. 4 minutes in duration, 1 minute recovery. We're gonna do 4 total sets. That means 20 minutes of work. Add that to the 23 we've already done. That puts us right around 45. 5 minutes for abs at the end. And we are good to go. Ready to start the weekend. All right. We've got just over 1 minute left. I'm gonna go ahead, take myself back to my zone 2 jog. My heart rate's coming down pretty quick. On that walk, I dropped down to about 120. That was from 153-ish. You might find your heart rate drops that fast. You might find it doesn't. "25 seconds, we're going to our zone 4. You know what we're looking for, huffing and puffing. I need you out of breath on these, running somewhere, and we can go high end of zone 4 tonight, somewhere between your 5K and your 10K pace. 3, 2, 1, we are on. Pick it up. Now you can decide, you take that intensity up by running faster, by using a steeper incline, by finding a combination of both of those two factors. We are on now. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. Are you huffing and puffing yet? Are you out of breath? You should be. That's what we're looking for. What's happening here? Why do we call this our threshold? We actually call it our lactic threshold. What happens here is our body starts producing lactic acid in the cells faster than we can actually clear it or remove it. That's one of the reasons you get a burning feeling. Good. How about that form? You're keeping those abs tight. You're lifting up those ankles quickly behind the body, moving forward. Hang in there. So I know you guys can't see my screen. I'm running here on Zwift. I'm going down this road, this awesome giant forest. It's pretty cool. If you do want to get Zwift, you need a foot pod so your iPad knows how fast you're actually running too. Looking good. We've got just about 1.5 minutes to go. 120. Quick check-in on this final minute. How do you feel? Are you out of breath? Are you huffing and puffing? Is your heart rate up high? Can you feel that burn coming into the legs? Can you pick things up just a little bit for the final 40 seconds? "30 seconds to go." We've got 20. Hang in there. Your recovery is just ahead. 10 seconds. Three, two, one. 1 minute easy. Maybe that's a jog. Maybe it's a walk. Should feel, if you went to a jog, feel yourself taking the same number of steps, but just shorter ones. Remember, we get faster because we take longer strides, not more strides. You guys know this song? It's one of my favorites. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna cover myself with the ashes of you. 20 seconds and we pick things up. Son of a bitch, give me a drink. We go in 10. One more night, but it's can't be me. Son of a bitch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me that speed again. Back to your threshold. I want you huffing and puffing, and I want you huffing and puffing as soon as possible. You don't have 2 minutes to come up to this pace. I need you to come up to it right away. They're only 4-minute intervals. Now for 17 years I've been going in back. 17 more will bury me. And good. Maybe when this chorus kicks on, you can find an extra 0.1 or 2. Let's go. One more night. 'Cause very good. We are 1 minute into this interval, the second of 4. Just think, we are over halfway through class and almost over halfway through the zone 4 work. My heart is breaking, hands are shaking, lungs are crawling on. 2.5 minutes. If you had to back it off just a tiny bit, that's okay. But maybe when the chorus kicks in again, you pick it up again. My hands are aching, my hands are shaking, lungs are crawling all over me. Let's go. Picking it back up if you can. Bitch. 2 minutes left in this threshold interval. I know you're getting tired. I know you're out of breath, but you can hang in there. You've got this. Good. Just about 1:30 to go here. Push through. Even as this song fades out, you stay strong. We keep moving. We've got 1 more minute here, come on. This song slows down just a tiny bit. You might choose to bring those miles per hour down just a tiny bit and add some hill climbing. It's up to you. You don't have to do it. This is when I use this mix on my bike, my stationary bike. This is a close your eyes, crank up, crazy resistance, climb up an intense, steep hill with all you've got. So running, we can do the same thing. We crank that incline up, we drop the speed, but the intensity stays the same. You still huff and puff. 3, 2, 1, and on this one, I am gonna drop the speed. I'm gonna grab a drink, take it to a walk with a 1 minute off interval, and then I do plan on going crazy steep, incline-wise, a little bit slower, speed-wise. In 40 seconds, we go, so get that water now. And we've got 30 seconds. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead, put that incline on. I'm gonna start at 6%. I'm probably gonna make my way up to 10. I will probably work, typically 6 miles per hour is zone 2 for me. Probably 6.5 though at this steep incline is gonna put me well into my threshold. Let's see where you go. As long as you're huffing and puffing, I don't care what the speed is. Try to work it on a hill though. 3, 2, 1, back at it. Let's go. Now remember, our form still stays good. We still feel nice and tall. We still keep those abs engaged. And our stride, we still take the same number of steps. Still somewhere between 170 and 180. But they're small steps. Your stride doesn't go very far behind you. Moving up that hill, where are you at? We are 1 minute into the interval. Good. Staying strong, keeping that form on point. The feet still land below the knee. We're still staying off of the heels when we land. Now to be clear, when I say that, it doesn't mean we don't come down on the heel at all. Ideally, we land with the forefoot or the ball of the foot and the heel at the same time. Or we land with the ball of the foot first and then allow the heel to come down behind it. But what we avoid is landing on the heel or landing on the ball of the foot and never letting the heel touch. This song is fading out. I'm gonna bring that hill climb down a little bit, going from 6 down to 3. But again, not a crazy fast song. So I can still keep the cadence around 170, 180. But my stride, somewhat short still. You can find a beat beat in that song. A little bit around the push, 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 push. Each time I say push, if your foot lands or your elbow jives back, you're gonna be right around 170 steps per minute, which is where you wanna be. Push, 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 push. That's exactly 170. That's just a little bit ahead of the beat of the music here. Just like that, you've only got 15 seconds left in the threshold. 3, 2, 1. You got your 1 minute easy. I'm gonna keep a jog, but you could choose to walk. Your call. One more threshold interval. Thirty seconds. Seconds. Your call when we hit the interval. Do you make it steep and slow? Do you make it flat and fast? As long as you're huffing and puffing, out of breath, in zone 4, you do whatever you need to do. Go! Nice and quick. I'm gonna push that cadence even a little higher. Push, 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 push. That's 174. Good, hang in there. As the music changes, you adjust your incline, you adjust your speed, but you keep the intensity in zone 4. 3 minutes to go. Hang in there. Remember, this is the last interval. Two minutes, 20 seconds to row. Two minutes. Can you go a little faster? Do you have more to give on the last interval here? The last half of the last interval. $1:30 to go. Good. 1 minute.
Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be
40 seconds. Come on. Push through. Twenty. 10 more. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. You can slow it down. I'm going for 1 minute at a jog. Following through that minute. Great work.
That you rain on my parade. All the clubs you get in.
Perfect timing for a cool down song here.
But
don't worry, we're still gonna hit the mat.
For goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own? Well, I ain't. Well, I didn't want to write a song, 'cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care. I don't, but
okay.
you still hit my phone up.
I'm taking myself
Maybe I'll be
to a walk.
On, and I think it should be something
looking good.
I don't want to hold back. Maybe you should know.
And again,
that my
we are
mama
going
don't
to just let that heart rate
She likes everyone.
drop a tiny bit.
And I never like to
And then we're gonna move in to some core work.
I've been so caught up in my job, didn't see what's going on. But
So I had to
now
just
I
double
know
check.
I'm better sleeping on my
Facebook
own,
almost
'cause
kicked
if
us
you
off
like
for
the
maybe
way
playing some music
you
that they didn't want
look
us to
that
play.
much, oh, maybe you should go and love yourself.
This cover
And
is
if
by
you
far
think
the
that
best
I'm
version
still
of this song.
holding on to something, you should go and love yourself.
Grab a quick drink.
All the times that you had to check my phone. The failed attempts to
I'm gonna
quit
go ahead,
that shit that you
bring that
smoke.
treadmill to a
Always
stop.
stomping it with makeup on your shirt. You think I don't
We're
know
gonna push
that
back
you still talk to
the camera
her?
just a touch here.
And you told me you were moving on. You just don't want anyone thinking
We're gonna
you
do
still care, but
a
you
short
still keep
round
them
of core work.
screenshots. And I guess it just loved you more. Oh, your boys told me how you wanted something real, but guess I wasn't good
All right.
enough. My daddy gon' kill you when he hears this song.
So,
He knows that
I'm
you
gonna do my
like
core
to
work on the
leave
treadmill
that
here
scene
just so you can
on.
see me and I can stay
You're
in
just so
frame.
messed up in
I do
your
not
mind.
suggest you do
Cannot
your
see
core
what's
work on your
inside my
treadmill.
mind now.
Use your
I
floor.
know
So,
I'm better sleeping
when
on
you're
my
ready,
own. No, I don't like the
we're
way
coming down.
you played me out. Maybe you can go and fuck yourself.
We're gonna work
And if you
bicycle
think
crunches,
that
okay?
I'm
For about
still
25
holding
seconds.
on to something, baby, you can go and fuck yourself.
Bad words in this version, huh? All right. So, for the core work here, for bicycles, elbow to knee, and then reverse. About 25 seconds worth of it. On your mark, get set, go. Take those crunches, work at controlled speed.
Me feel small. I fell in love, now I feel nothing at all.
Good, keep
I
moving.
never felt so low when I was
Feeling those
vulnerable.
abdominals
Was
engaged.
I a fool to let you break down my walls?
Few more.
'Cause if you like
Say
the
3,
way
2,
you look that
1.
much, then
Good.
maybe you should go
All right,
and love
we're gonna come
yourself.
up and we are gonna work in and out. So you can either do hands behind you or hands up in the air if you want to get fancy with it. And they look like this.
You think that I'm still
Okay?
holding
So
on
just
to
like that.
something, baby,
Again,
you
about
should go
25
and
seconds
love
or so.
yourself.
Let's go now. Maybe you start off with the hands up. And then as you fade out a little bit, you might take your hands back to help support the lower back. Good, keep moving. And you've got about 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Good deal. Let's go ahead, roll over, and we're gonna work a plank. So, you're gonna get those arms down. I'm crossing my arms just because on the treadmill here, it's a little bit tougher for me. I don't have as much room, but you might wanna keep your arms out in front of you too. You could choose to do this on your knees or up on your toes. When you're ready, we're gonna take about a 30-second hold. Ready, go. So straight up. Keep yourself as flat as possible. I probably look terrible here because my posture is horrible. But you get the idea. Hang in there. Call it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Don't let those hips sag. We're taking another plank in 5 seconds. Same deal. We're going to hold it for another 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Back up. Keep hanging in there. About 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, come on, down. Roll it back over. We're gonna go for just a standard set of crunch sit-ups here. So I'm looking for somewhere between 15 and 25. I'm going cross-legged. You can choose to put the hands behind your head, support the neck a little bit, or leave them across the body. Your call. About 25, 15 to 25 of them. When you're ready, just crunch and go. Good, keep moving. Remember, you're going all the way up to 25 if you can. That little bit of engagement you feel as you crunch up, that's the same engagement, just the beginning of that is what you feel when you're actually running. When we talk about holding your posture line, keeping your pelvis level, that little bit of engagement you get at the beginning of your crunch sit-up is the same engagement you want to feel when we are starting the run. So that is going to be it for us tonight. Again, I said just a quick set of abs, and it was. In the future, we can break that out, 10 to 15 minutes of abs if we want, but throwing it in there tonight just for the first one. So thank you all so much for joining tonight. If you're catching this on the replay, please let me know how you liked it, if you enjoyed it, and we will catch you on the next run. That reminds me, next week, if you're catching this live, tonight is, Thursday, May 7th. Next Tuesday's class is going to be bumped up to Monday. Tuesday we're taking off. It's my wedding anniversary, so we're going to do something special. I don't know what here at home, but it is not going to involve running on the treadmill. And then I will catch the rest of you on next Thursday as well. Thanks so much. Have a great night.